Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
This is the Red Kingdom Media Live POSTGAME Show.
Exhale, Chiefs Kingdom. It is week 10, and your Kansas City Chiefs were able to escape Arrowhead with a narrow 2-point win, 16-14 versus the Broncos. Welcome to this edition of Red Kingdom Media Live Postgame Show. I am your host, Clinton, and joined with me are my other two co-hosts, Dale and Lonnie, where this, as I said, was a very tough matchup. I'm going to get my point in later, but overall, just kind of very sloppy performance that the Broncos got the better of the Chiefs very much of this game. But a last-second block by Leo Chenal is able to keep the 16-14 lead and hang on for the Chiefs to get their 9th consecutive win of the year. Another AFC West victory, and now heading into next week in a almost divisional showdown, an AFC cross division with a tough Buffalo Bills roster. So I'll let one of you guys kind of take the mic here and have your kind of overall thoughts. But yeah, the Chiefs were able to come out here with the win. 3 field goals by Harrison Butker were pretty much the difference maker in this game. Their missed field goal is able to clinch the game in our favor. If that goes in, we're talking about a 17-16 loss and the Chiefs' first defeat on the year. So it's safe to say that the Chiefs are escaping these narrow margins. Some may call it luck, but I'm sure the three of us agree there is an element of that, but also these teams are staying well prepared and saving their kind of not trick plays or magic moments, but some kind of special effect that they use at the right times where they're able to keep the game in their favor. So whoever wants to go first, what are your overall impressions about this victory?
Yeah, so I think, like you said, some might call it luck, but some may say you're just prepared. You're the better prepared team. I think the Chiefs won a lot of situations today. They were great in situational football, and it showed. I mean, I think the Chiefs did what they needed to do as far as winning in certain situations. And none big than any other than on special teams, blocking the field goal. So. I love what I seen from Kansas City today. Overall, I know it was a lackluster performance on offense, and people want to see us score and see the game going away, us scoring 50, running away from people, but that's just not the way the games are going to be anymore, I don't think. I mean, I think the Chiefs have shown that, but I think it's the people that do the dirty work, the work that goes unseen, are the people that are really benefiting and getting the Chiefs wins right now. Leo Chenal, like you said, really came in and reared his head. That's the man that does a ton of dirty work and doesn't get nearly the credit that he deserves for the stuff that he does. And it showed today. Not only does he get down in there and stop the run, he's always showing his head on special teams, working in the punt return, punt unit, and even sometimes he's coming in on offense as a fullback. So Leo Chenal, unsung hero in a ton of our championships, and this is a guy that is he means a ton to our organization, and I'm happy he was the reason that we got the win today. And it was definitely a nail biter, but some may say it's luck, but I just think we were the better prepared team.
Honestly, I'm not going to say that I enjoyed everything I saw today, but just like I didn't say it on most of my platforms, I don't care how you win it, just win it. and that comes with the special teams as well too. They don't put special teams into this game, or they don't make them a part of this game for a reason. They don't change some of the rules so they can make that particular unit have some type of impact in the game as well. And that's exactly what happened. First half, defense looked shaky. Bo Nix was kind of having his way, getting the ball out very quick, getting downfield, getting into Cortland Sutton, Sutton and some of his other guys as well too. And of course, on a couple of those, they were able to put up touchdowns. However, they only gave up 14 and gave up in the second half. And at times, they did get down the field. They could have had a game-winning field goal, but guess what? That special team showed up. Now, moments of the game, the offense did, of course, they got downfield. They looked solid on a couple drives, but we didn't see that explosiveness or what we saw from last week at all. It seems like that they just faded away. But Mahomes, I am going to apply him on not doing any dumb mistakes, making any dumb mistakes. He said, you know what? I'm going to take the sack. I'm going to throw it out of bounds. I'm going to live for the next down. And even though at the end of the game, he could have had a touchdown, and I feel like even on that throw, he should have connected. He had him right there in the gap by himself, could have just bulleted it in, touchdown. We might not even be talking like this right now, right? But I applaud him for, I've been screwing up all season. Luck hasn't been my way. My Trav, he mess around, tip it, do some awkward interception, and guess what? We don't even leave with any points on that drive. So all in all, I wanted a better performance from the offensive side of the ball. But I'll take this dub 9-0. It puts us in the driver's seat in the AFC West. And what we got to do first, we always got to win that division first so we can secure a playoff spot, right? So we do that. We're on course right now. Just keep it up. I don't care how you win. Just win the game.
Agreed. Raekwon in the comments shouts out Tobe, and Buffalo next week will be a sluggish game, so we need to get back on our toes. And I agree. I kind of was saying that in our pre-meeting here before we went live. The special teams ended up being the difference maker in this game. Butker with his 3 field goals, and honestly, he nearly put that game out of reach and giving the Broncos the win with that illegal kick, placing the Broncos at the 40. So that was not a good thing. And then the defense was getting pushed on, and they made it to the other side of the field. But special teams and made up for that and was able to get the block. But that's a defensive player on special teams who made that play. So shout out to the defense for the 14 points. It sure looked like the Broncos were dominating, and as soon as they started getting a little bit of momentum, Arrowhead got loud. Me and my fellow compadres there started getting loud, and then the sacks started coming. Got a couple of those. Some balls had to get thrown away. Some tackles very short. All that. But it was a close matchup. These divisional games, and honestly, pretty much every game the Chiefs have had this season have been these tough games, and it seems like the division is going to continue to get more difficult. The Chiefs will take on the Broncos here at the end of the season, but we will see based on the 2 records and paths of these 2 teams whether or not the starters from either of those teams will be participating in that game. But lest we forget that last year the Broncos were able to snap that long winning streak against them, defeating us by, honestly, I think our biggest deficit defeat last year in October, and now it's November, so really was able to kind of make up for that. But that game will take place in 2025, so we'll see who can have the bragging rights for that year.
You had to slip that in there, huh? We lost to them too, huh?
Up until some fingers of Leo Chenal touched a field goal going up, it was about to be the same outcome. But the Chiefs were able to escape this game. Honestly, something that kind of stands out for me is, other than the kind of big three in our offense, the three elder statesmen in the group, so to say, we really did not see much participation out of the rest of the group. And, sometimes they try to sprinkle the targets in, but really did not have that many total receptions and yards, and didn't have, that Noah Gray stand out or an Xavier Worthy, explosive. So we're just kind of waiting for another weapon for them to kind of stand up and contribute in another game, like next week, for example, to hopefully get 50 or 6 receptions or something like that. Try to make more of an impact on the stat sheet, as it'll contribute more on the scoreboard. Those are the kind of main standouts for me. And the last thing I'll just say, and I think we're obviously going to talk offense first, because I think the defense deserves most of the praise. So we give the best unit the second conversation between us all. But leads kind of into your article slash video, Dale, where Kareem did not have the 20 carries that he had been getting previous games, and he also did not even crack 50 yards. But he was able to be the leading receiver in yards this game, in the passing game, because a lot of those going out of the flat or escaping out of the backfield, honestly being wide open on one side of the field for a while. Saw that one ball get thrown into the dirt because Mahomes was running too fast and Kareem kind of fell over. So that could add it on, but it didn't happen. But Kareem was kind of making that impact in the receiving game. He barely got to 20 total, whatever you want to call it, touches, both rushing and receiving. But the Chiefs' rushing game was not excelling this game. What do you contribute to that, and do you think that perhaps continues next week?
I think what happened in this matchup, the Broncos, I think a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to Sean Payton, and I know he got a lot of slack last year because of some of the comments that he had about Nathaniel Hackett that ended up going to the Jets. They beat him and stuff like that. Was talking, and he wasn't the best season for them so often, but just how a lot of people call like Lamar Jackson and other guys like regular season quarterbacks, they put up that like Sean Payton is a regular season guy. Like he will do enough to get into the postseason, and I think he does enough to get his guys ready for these type of matchups, because at the end of the day, what you do in the regular season gets you over to the postseason. So what he did in this matchup, I think it was phenomenal, because they do have a great defensive tackle in there by the name of Allen, who he gets double teamed a lot. He always fills his gap, and it's really tough to really get a lot of yards on them. And I think they came into this matchup knowing that how the Kansas City offense, kind of have been making noise in this season is they get him involved and they feed him the ball. Now, he might not be someone who breaks off a 20 or 30 yard run, but those 3 to 4 yards of tough yardage going in and coming up on the front seven, that tires him out, and we're able to sprinkle in a little play action with that, because we didn't see him multiple times where it seems like he was stop behind the line of scrimmage, but no, I'm bouncing off of you, I'm getting back to the line of scrimmage at least 1 or 2 yards after that. And I think that helps with the offense, because we don't need negative plays with the talent that we have right now, because we're not getting those big plays, right? So we need whatever we can get in those moments. And I think when you look at it, that's what at least kept us ahead, be able to still somewhat compete if it's not a penalty. So I think they were just focusing on him. But yeah, overall, I think, they was like, no, you can run it 20 times, but it might be you might run it 20 times and only get 2 yards each. And guess what? You only averaging 2 yards a carry with that. So you're going to have to do more than that on us defensively to be able to put points on the board and then get out of here with a win. And they almost got it. Like you said, it's just the fingers. Y'all can talk about whatever you want, whatever. He did the right thing. He had to come down in 1 second. I'm not giving Pat nothing. You're not even getting kicked back to you. You can't be mad about that at all. And guess what? The special teams, Dave told, he got those boys ready and did what they had to do. But overall, I think they just locked in at the end of the day. Dave was like, you're not going to do that to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't.
I agree. As soon as the as soon as they had the ball and kept moving, it was basically done. They were going to keep the ball and the clock the rest of the game, and they were going to kick to the end. Go ahead and have your point, Lonnie, and then I'll have a follow-up question for you.
I mean, we can't scoff at the Broncos defensive line. They got somebody over there who just got an extension, just a couple days ago. So, I think he had a sack on Mahomes to do today as well. So their defensive line is actually good. They've been good throughout the year. They're like number 2 in, I think, overall defense, if I'm not mistaken. The Broncos are pretty good. So they're not just like bottom of the barrel. Not really what the record says. I mean, the offense has been lackluster, like you've seen today.
Right, and I was gonna bring that up. So four sacks on the season or for the game. Pretty much every single one of the Denver Broncos defensive linemen got a sack. Not just the ones who lined up on one side, but Dale, your main point was that the left side was getting cremated, and my point from the stands was that the right side kept still getting beat despite Taylor's obvious being very quick, but the Broncos' right tackle was also very quick. So, Wani, how do you think this offensive line and Mahomes respond this next week? Because I don't think they can put up a performance like this and have as many negative plays and be able to defeat a tough opponent like Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think you'll see a lot of help and chip blocking and helping like that. I know we were kind of talking before we came on air that we may go out and get help, but I don't see them going to do that. I see them sticking with what they have at the position. But I know Kingsley Suamataia will not be the guy moving forward. He got ran around that edge just too much. Speed really just was really eating him alive. And that's one thing that you just can't have in Andy Reid's offense. That we needed him with Mahomes with at least enough time to get the ball off. And if he doesn't have that, I mean, the offense just looks horrible. You can't get anything going. So I think we'll make an adjustment. And as long as Wanye can go, I think Wanye will be in there and they'll just be helping a lot. I mean, you'll see a lot of chips and a lot of tight end coming in and the back, probably helping out of the backfield. You've seen Carson still got on a little bit because he didn't release to Kingsley's side. He wanted him to help. So they were trying to do as much as they could, but it's definitely a problem. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not a problem. And it's not a red flag. I know I've been on the podcast harping about it before, saying we don't want it to continue to be a revolving door there at the left tackle position. And it looks like that's kind of what it is right now. But as long as Wanye can stay healthy, I think that's going to be the answer at that position. Because we're gonna have Russo. I don't think Epinesa is there anymore, but Russo, Von Miller, you're going to have some answers in there, especially with speed, because they're going to have a field day.
Well, you just said it, Monty. Like if
he stays healthy. I think I may disagree. Not yet. Not just because. Not just because I have like some doubt in the two that we have, but honestly, the injuries keep coming and going. Probably going to get into it and have that point as well. But we were talking. Donovan Smith is still available. I'm not. But I think he may be a little more stable than who we are playing right now, and would ask of right now is stability.
I mean, Lonnie, you just said it, bro. You know what I'm saying? If he stays healthy, that's why Donovan Smith is an option that I think we should look at for that, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, if he does come down, if Wanye is still healthy, that's great, right? That's just added piece that we have on our offensive line just in case for those moments. But guess what? You could be working with guys like Kingsley as well, too, where we can get him prepared for those moments where you probably have to go in there and be ready for that. I've mentioned it in before the season even started. I said Wanye was going to be the guy going in. He should have been the guy going in. He dealt with that injury. He had those problems. That's why Kingsley had to start out. Didn't really have much of a bad game, but in that Cincinnati game, he got beat up by Henderson. Wanye was a guy coming in. Now, he had his moments a couple games ago where, okay, he might have gave up on possession, gave up a sack, wasn't the best for him. But we also have our better moments when he out there as well too, and we able to do more because he did play within this offense before and was on this line, and he had that chemistry. He didn't work with Joe Tooney, so you need that. You need that chemistry because what beat us up in Super Bowl 55, that Tampa Bay defensive line, and it was very similar to what we saw in that game as well too. However, we just was able to get some points on the board, was able to get a touchdown out of it, but it wasn't the best. So we gotta think about what we're going to do on that side of the ball because Kinsley is looking like a project right now that can end up being a great tackle. He can be a great tackle, but it's not looking pretty. And with what we have going on right now, we trying to get a three-peat. That's what they're going to be doing. They even try to attack Wanye when he got out there, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not Kinsley, bro. I can get to my spot when I need to get to my spot." That's how he was able to connect with D-Hop and get it down the field. He wasn't giving it up because, man, I forgot his last name, but he was killing me. It was right off the line of scrimmage, untouched. Damn. Excuse me. Dang. It's crazy. Well, it was ugly, but we was able to pull it out though. But we gotta work. We gotta figure something out. Have a backup for that or something.
Agreed. And then obviously the final point we have to make is about the main core of Patrick and Travis and how they performed today. I think they shared the one touchdown together. Travis got his several targets, meaningful targets, not just the at the line of scrimmage, kind of hopefully get a couple yards, but was used in that get 5 yards at a time. And was really kind of moving the chains at various points. Hopkins kind of flashed, but Travis continues to remain as Mahomes' safety blanket. But those 4 sacks, it's troubling, and it's not kind of like why they occurred on Monday night where he's just sitting in the pocket for far too long. This time, those sacks were coming in hot. He barely had time to even throw away, let alone to try to escape up the pocket up front. So what did you guys think of Mahomes? And obviously you've already kind of said he didn't have any turnovers, and that's always been a plus. Last week he had the 3 touchdowns, so not necessarily a regression, but maybe playing an even tougher opponent than Tampa was just here 6 days ago. But what are your thoughts on Patrick and Travis as a whole this game?
Well, I think with Pat and Travis, a lot of people want to be mad that why he didn't hit Worthy. He didn't hit Worthy. I'm gonna give that to him. He could have probably laid it a little bit more inside, more towards the end zone where he can catch it inbounds, make a play off of that. He had those moments, but I don't like why he's not getting out the pocket and trying to run and do all of that. Well, he got out the pocket early in the game and got a big run and showed you that his ankle was fine, right? However, I can't keep on being Superman on every play. I'm going to have to take these sacks. Y'all don't want me to keep on making those dumb mistakes. I'm going to have to take these sacks and live to play to the next down. But all I'm saying is what's difference with the Denver defensive line and just their defense in general to other defenses. They kind of run more of a 3-5, 3-4 defense anyway. They don't mind sitting 5, and they don't mind depending on their secondary as well too. Because if we're going to get there red hot and your guys not getting off the ball like they're supposed to as well and getting that separation, well, it looks like we're going to win that matchup because you don't want to cause those turnovers as well too, right? So I think it was more so when you have 5 guys going in, that means with 5 guys being on the offensive line, it's going to be those man-on-man situations. So you got to win your battles when you're going man-on-man. And I think what was going on, we were trying to make something happen offensively, right? I think Carson Steele in the back of his head, even though he was supposed to come over to the side, it helped Chip. It's like, if I get out, you get the ball to me quick, we can make a play, we can get yardage, opposed to, of course, taking a sack or anything like that, or not getting as many yards, right? So Kinsley, he just wasn't winning his one-on-one matchups like Wanye was a couple times against that guy, against the guy that he was going against. So I think that was the problem, but I'm fine with it. Travis, he did what he had to do. He didn't have any drops. He had some big catches, had one on first down as well too. They did their part. The offensive line just got beat all day, and it was primarily on one side, even though everybody had their fair share of mistakes.
Yeah. And Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
like Dale was saying, I think it was more just the offensive line was just did not play their best game today at all whatsoever. But I like what I seen from what I seen from Travis. Mahomes has missed uncharacteristically throughout the season this year. But he did that a little bit last year, and he showed that he could be on during the postseason. I think we are now becoming a postseason kind of team where it's like do what you have to do to get through the regular season, whether that means scratching, clawing, fighting, biting kneecaps, like Dan Campbell said. Whatever you got to do to get wins, whatever you have to do, I think that's what the Kansas City Chiefs are right now. And I think that's what Mahomes is showing. If they got to tape my ankles up, tape them back on, respat them. If I sprain them, I think he hurt it again in this game. Whatever I have to do to get the win, we're going to get the win. It doesn't matter as long as it's a win in the win column. We're one game closer to being able to rest for the last 3 games or 3-4 games. So I love what I seen from Travis today. Not what I seen from Mahomes so much as far as throwing the ball. He missed in the red zone. We need points down there, even though the defense is playing out of their mind.
All right. And so let's quickly give our offensive MVP before we transition to our defensive talk, and then same thing on that side. I'm going to give it to Travis Kelce. I liked what I saw. Like I said, he was doing, old Travis Kelce things, not so much where he was asked to do a bunch of things and be the centerpiece of the offense, but he still is. But he's not asked to do a bunch of things and kind of workhorse him. I think they're, like you said, Lonnie, in that pre-playoff mode. I think Buffalo, this week is finally the week they wake up and try to play a little more competitively and believe that real football is around the corner. Could be wrong, but maybe they'll just, concede that game and say we'll figure it out in the rematch in January or February. But for me, I'm going to give it to Travis Kelce because I thought he just did normal Travis Kelce things and has been kind of integrating back into the offense nicely. And Dale's patting his Travis Kelce jersey for the audio only listeners.
The fake Kelce jersey, you gotta say it ain't the real one, it's the black. It's the fake one. I'm gonna keep it G. I don't care. We from the hood, Lonnie. We get it how we get it. You know what I'm saying?
But I guess who I was going next. I'm giving my MVP. I'm go ahead and give it to Kareem Hunt, man. I'm taking him off the flip. He did good today. I mean, I know it isn't showing the box score. He didn't score a touchdown. He probably didn't set anybody's fantasy on fire because he didn't score a touchdown.
He got us the points. He got me the points. That's
I'm like I said, it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with when Pacheco comes back. We have some backs that are able to roll and turn this offense to make it efficient. I think a big thing that goes unnoticed with Kareem Hunt, no fumbles, right? We don't see him fumble the ball. Knock on wood. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. Sorry, but
only since his first carry ever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so like
with us,
literally, exactly. It's a Chief. So it makes the offense extremely efficient. We don't see that. That just goes unnoticed. Another thing that just kind of flies under the radar. But when you're not giving the ball back to the other team, you're holding on to it, you're keeping it out of their hands, and you keep your defense off the field. You're helping your team. So Kareem Hunt had another masterclass today. Now it was catching the ball this time. What else do you want me to do? What else do you want me to come play tight end and put my hand in the ground? Like, what else do you want me to do? Y'all seen him do everything. I caught the ball. I caught it 7 for 70. I ran for 200-yard games. What else do you want me to do? Yes, no, I didn't hurdle anybody backwards, but I'm on a team that's way better than his. So, like,
see me in my old days, I probably would have did that already if I didn't do nothing. We can just talk about that later. But you see that connection. He knows when to get his head around. Other guys would have got their head around late and missed it. It's like he got his head around perfectly, got it. So I can respect that. I'm gonna go ahead and go with D-Hop. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he had 4 catches for 54 yards, 56 yards, or something like that. Didn't have a touchdown, but it's like in those moments, Mahomes is like, I'm trusting you. Even when he missed him in the end zone and threw it to him and he didn't get it, he was like, bro, you gonna go up there and get it. So I'm gonna just throw it up there. you're the only one who can get it if you can get it. And he went for that. But he had that big catch, when it was on third down, got it up to him, flicked it up, he caught the ball. And, D-Hop a little slow. He ain't fast, but he got a little juice to his step. He hit him with the Now, young D-Hop would have probably cribbed it, like with the little stutter and go. But it was like, I'm a stutter. I can still get some more out of it. But, it really set us up to for that field goal, that last field goal. Could have probably got a touchdown out of it. But you can see him evolving in his offense. I think once we start getting healthier and start getting a lot of our guys back as well, too, we're probably not going to see Hollywood and them later on to the postseason or anything like that. But I think in general, once you start getting kind of like Pacheco back, you got that dual back system with there. Then also you mix in Samaje P. Ryan and Carson Steele as well. It'll work out for us because we'll be able to go to guys. But they need to get I'll say this before you go. They need to get McCole involved. He's done it on special teams. And when you get it to him on his little quick pivot route going into the outside, he catches it. I think that will be a key of somebody where I know we want Xavier Worthy, but I think he understands his position and his role in the offense now. Get him involved. He deserves it, bro. He been with y'all ever since rocked out. He said, New York wasn't it. I came back. I like what I seen here. I can do that. I can evolve. Get him going some more, man. I think that'll help us out a lot.
All right, let's go ahead and shift over to the defense. Lonnie, I don't know if you made this point while we were live or before we live, but 14 points, you can't complain about that. A couple of drives seemed really, really easy for the Broncos, and then a couple of backwards plays or penalties or tackles for loss or no gains. Those were the type of plays that were able to hold the Broncos to only 2 scoring drives total. Could have been that third one at the end, but special teams makes the play. But as I said, again, a defensive player gets the official block. So what do you guys think of this performance, and who kind of stands out for you? And what do you think about what Spags did against this first-time matchup against Bo Nix?
Yeah, so my standout, I'm giving it to Big 27. Hands, prints all over the game. Is a man that is not scared to cover, is a man that is not scared to tackle, is a man that is not scared to blitz. He has become a Swiss Army knife in this defense, Mr. Shamari Connor. If you go back and watch the game, he's usually probably making the open field tackles, probably the main one tackling on screens. It's usually they're probably throwing his way. Yes, he probably gives up some stuff, but Shamari Connor has become a playmaker. I think he's just one of Spags' guys that he's developed into a L'Jarius Sneed, a Trent McDuffie, a Tyrod Matthew, even Justin Reed. Now he has one like in Jay Nix. It's this certain type of, I don't know what position that is that you play in Spags' system where you can kind of be like a blitzer, or like you kind of just, you become like this special person and become a household name, literally. And I think that's what Shamari Connor is doing. He's the reason Kareem Hunt hasn't got his number back. But his handprints were all over the Denver Broncos today playing safety, and then I seen him even sometimes outside the corner. So I love what I seen from Shamari, and that just says a lot to me because I thought we were going to go out and get Mike Edwards trying to get somebody back, but I think they trust him a lot. But hats off to him. I love what I seen from him, and hats off to Shamari Connor in that safety room. I loved it.
Yeah, not too much to really say defensively. I wanted to see a better pass rush, probably a little bit more. We got the 2 sacks that was needed. Secondary, McDuffie did have his best game, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Najee Johnson. We saw him get bullied by Gardner Minshew like a couple games ago. Ended up getting a concussion coming out of that game. Sat out last game, came back in this one, made up for it on, of course, going downfield. Was able to get a tick ball on it as well. Was able to, get a stop and also get a big sack as well too. So I think he had a good redemption game for him to work off of. But it's going to be more important next week, seeing what you do against Josh Allen in that offense, because I know they don't have as many weapons, but they kind of somewhat playing like us on offense. They making whatever happen what they can with the weapons that they got, and they're winning games with that. So shout out to Najee Johnson. I'm still satisfied with only 14 points. That was my score prediction for the Broncos in general. So great job on honing in on that, keeping me honest, keeping me truthful within that. Offense got to step up, but other than that, defense, they did their part. They did what we want them to do. I think it's a little bit sexier, than in other games. That's why we're not feeling it as much. But they did what they had to do. They came up in those moments in situational football and they stepped up. So great job. I'm satisfied with what they did overall.
Yeah. There were, plenty of moments where it looked like they were kind of getting bullied, but I think a lot of that may have been holding Chris Jones, and then the attention goes somewhere else, and then a penalty shows up in that way, or a couple of not just sacks, but like the 2 sacks we did have were like not 10 plus yards, 15, I think, at some point, like deep sacks where like there was nothing to do but try to escape and fail. So shout out to like you said, those guys, because that made large impact. Goodness, the tackles for loss were strong this game. Were many times were much like the other games. The wide receiver screens against our secondary and our linebackers is not going to work because they are not afraid to hit you and hopefully try to wedge the ball free. I had many people in my section who were Broncos centric, and they were very afraid whenever Mims would have the ball and then would hopefully not drop the ball. And this Chiefs secondary is very good at forcing those. So did not have a turnover this game in our favor. You could argue that a blocked field goal is kind of a turnover, but doesn't show up on that. So here's hoping that the turnovers for the Chiefs start appearing in bunches, just like sacks do. 2 sacks, you would have thought we'd had a lot more, considering how much pressure we were putting on Bo Nix and their offense, but not so much. For me, I'm giving it. Trent McDuffie had a tough day today. Not so much because he just didn't play well. He just had a tough matchup. Cortland Sutton is a taller receiver. This is a game where L'Jarius Sneed takes that role, and McDuffie gets to beat up on, name the other wide receivers for the Broncos that could have contributed something, and maybe McDuffie appears on the stat sheet in terms of his first interception in that way. But he continues to be almost a nickel safety used in that quick tackle for stop the screen. I don't know what happened on that one route, but Cortland Sutton just beat him outright, and that's what got them that 14th point, and then none after that. But Trent McDuffie, he's still a third year now. He's still growing into this role. He's asked to be the absolute number 1 cornerback on our team. Has done a very good job up until kind of appearing on the stat sheet in this game. Going to have some tough matchups against the Bills here coming up. So I'm giving it to him because I think he can improve on his game even more. I think he's going to be determined watching the tape back and think I'm not going to let myself get bullied, I guess, and get pushed out of position because I'm the defensive player and I'm the one who is the aggressor. So any other thoughts you guys have about this defense before we kind of just give our final thoughts and close?
Like you said, hats off to the defensive line. Once again, the guys who do the dirty work, it goes unannounced. And I think, unspoken about, but I think Dale brought up a good point. Situational football, Spags in certain situations when we need it, we go get it. So you can go look at some of them third downs when we need a turnover on downs. Spags is dialing it up. The double A gap pressure, yeah. Trent Green said it. They bring it on us because we brung it on them. But ours look better than theirs, baby. I'm telling you. Bo Nix, we had Bo Nix scrambling for his life, but we gotta see if we can do that against Josh Allen because we usually can't get him to the ground, and he has the answer. So let's see if it continues. But I love what I've seen from Spags. Situational football, love it.
So someone on Facebook says we need a new left tackle. Go ahead and scroll back on this when we're done. You're gonna see our conversation and who thought we were good and who thought we weren't. And also, Trent McDuffie. I know I didn't say he looked good. I said he made some plays, and I'm hoping I can give him the confidence and stuff he needs for next game, because the Bills are really going to need that against them. Dale, what are your final thoughts?
Man, hey, nothing much real. I mean, wasn't not, they didn't really do too much, really. I mean, we shout out the defensive line, but I mean, the guys who got the sacks was the secondary, Najee Johnson and Justin Reeves. So I mean, they helped create the pressure, and y'all get to get Big Macs tomorrow at least. But 14 points, you did something right. You did enough. There's nothing much you can say after that. So no points in the second half.
For my final thoughts is it's obvious the Chiefs treated this game as it was. It was a quick turnaround game after playing on Monday, and it was on at noon, which means it wasn't prime time, which means you didn't care about it. And I think that performance kind of shows they didn't really care about this game. They were very, very fortunate to escape with a win, but they thankfully did. And this is a positive live stream / podcast after we officially post this for our audio listeners. But thank you all for tuning in with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and enjoy the rest of the games we have ahead, and enjoy this next week of content that our whole team will be dishing out. And guess what we're doing the second this stream ends? Exactly. Going back to work, working on that same content for you. So from all of us at Red Kingdom Media, hope you have a great rest of your week. And as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.